Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, one of the most hyped up games of the late 2024 season. When the first trailer initially dropped, people were absolutely stoked. A brand new addition to the Tenkaichi Budokai series, 200 characters, and 3 types to play for. But now, entering into May 2025, the game is almost dead. On some occasions, there's less than 700 people playing actively. So how did this game go from the most purchased in the year of 2024 to the least played in 2025? This is a sort of rant video, so there's no script or anything. We're just gonna go into why, and I have 3 main reasons, but they're also loose, you know, in terms of how I present them to you guys. But first of all, I'm gonna go ahead and just say it out of the bat, like $70. $70 for a video game is so unnecessary. I honestly just it makes me so mad because I know what Nintendo is doing as well. If you guys have seen, the Nintendo Switch games are going to be up to $90, which is they're ruining gaming definitely because they're setting the standard higher, you know. 5 years ago when the Xbox Series X and the PS5 and the Nintendo Switch Lite came out, the big producers basically just wanted to up the price for no apparent reason, you know. It wasn't for taxes, it wasn't for tariffs, it wasn't for inflation, no financial reason like that. PlayStation just announced that they would start selling their games at $70 up, and then everyone followed suit, including Bandai Namco with Dragon Ball Sparking Zero being $70 at launch. I remember almost having a heart attack when I figured out that they would be $60 instead of $50 when the Xbox One and the PS4 came out. It was honestly insane to think about. Imagine what you could buy with $60. Well, not much today, but back then it was you had the world in your hands. Now you can't even buy a controller like Joy-Cons. You cannot buy them with $60. So yeah, $70 for a video game is kind of crazy, but let's give them the benefit of the doubt. They had almost 200 characters at launch. They had about 10 stages, and they're all pretty mid. No old Tenkaichi Budokai, no snow biome where the Broly fight took place, no Red Ribbon Army from Superhero. Just the basics, Namek destroyed, plains, the plateaus, whatever you want to call them, the wastelands. But in terms of the characters, they were pretty stocked on them. So where's the problem? Because if they have a lot of characters, more people will want to play, right? Well, honestly, I feel like this kind of worked in reverse. Let me explain. When you have all these characters to choose from, it kind of feels overwhelming through all of them. You're trying to figure out who does which, and the power systems and all that, like ranking. It also doesn't help that we only have 15, so most characters that are actually good and impact the game cost more than 6. It should be balanced, but it's not. There's a lot of characters that are too high and there's a lot of too low. For instance, you know that Garlic Jr. is actually overpowered as fuck? I'm being serious, bro. I've beaten full power Jiren, I've beaten Gogeta Blue, I've beaten everyone with this character. He is so good. Use him if you haven't. That's if you're playing the game. You aren't. I honestly feel like if they cut down on the roster a lot and then release them as free DLC above or down the line, it would have been way better. But saying that in 2025 those 2 words, free DLC, is honestly fever dream at that point. You're basically an insane person if you would even think about free DLC at this time and age. Everything has to be $30 or up when it comes to, you cannot spend $10. That's a cardinal sin. Speaking of DLC, it took them about half a year to make the first batch of it. And guess what it was? Yep, it's Superhero DLC. Hooray! We've never seen that before. That's never, ever, ever happened. I guarantee, on somebody's life, not mine, they took probably some models from Xenoverse or Legends. They amped it up a bit for Sparking Zero standards and then put it in. There's nothing creative about this. The movie came out 5 years ago. 3 years ago, but still. So wait, when's the next Dragon Ball movie? It's been 3 years. You guys are definitely not working on anything right now, except for one. When you already have 200 or something characters added to the roster, it honestly feels very dull once you start playing again and again and again. You don't try out new characters because you're just gonna lose. You just stick with the ones that you've been working with for the past month. And not to mention, a lot of the characters feel like they have the exact same fighting style. I sold that sense. Playing as Goku and playing as Vegeta pretty much feels identical. There's a difference, of course, when you're playing as giant characters or maybe stronger characters or faster characters, but it pretty much comes down to strength, speed, and giant. Those are the 3. Nothing can do about it. Also, $30 DLC for 5 characters in a stage, kind of really crazy. Not kind. Imagine how much the Daima DLC is going to be. You could buy a brand new indie game for the same price as a Sparking Zero DLC. That's crazy. But But yeah, another thing, yeah, the Daima DLC looks really disappointing. I really don't want to be another Goku. There's like already too much in the game. I just don't know what to say. Like, this world feels so uncreative right now. I remember back in like 2010s, 2015s, we used to theorize the future and how it was gonna look like Fruitiger Arrow, and it was gonna look, you know, whatever it's called, you know, that design, that style of choice, you know. I used to think that was the coolest thing in the world, and it really fit with, you know, Dragon Ball Z when you put it in like Windows Movie Make. Now almost every single company and every single like person on earth is opting for minimalism, and it just really hurts me to my core. And I'm not just saying this as a design choice. It's also been a functionality. Look at Apple. There's no more like cool gadgets or things that you can do. Look at the Nintendo Switch 2. There's no more cool like, you know, menus or modes or music or you know, packing game. It's all the same minimalistic trash, and I hate it. Sure, I'm kind of juxtapositioning myself by, you know, comparing it to Dragon Ball, because you literally cannot make Dragon Ball minimalist, but it's the way that they're handling the game. You know, they're not really giving it that love and affection that the old Tenkaichi Budokai games got. Sure, there's like customability, customizing whatever character, but there's really nothing. Like, there's really nothing there. The coolest one I can think of is Krillin's Frieza outfit in the Namek Saga. Yeah, that's like the one I always wear, because I like Krillin in that arc, and I like the outfit wearing the Saiyan arc. I can't really think of any other, you know, customizability. Sorry guys. It sort of felt like that they looked at 200 character roster and they're like, yeah, people will never get bored of this, and they advertised it not as a competitive fighting game, but as a party game. I'm sorry, this game just does not work for parties. It's too complex for party. You need to learn all the button mashing and the combos and everything to actually like play and feel smooth when you're playing it. Other than that, you're just button mash. It's not meant for parties because it wasn't designed to be a party game, but it was marketed so. You could probably go and mess around with the single player mode or with the story creation mode, but really, who is doing that? I'm gonna say that so calmly. Who is doing that? My head is hurting a lot, guys, as you clearly tell. But now we're gonna get into the final thing, which, you know, caused everyone to think that Sparking Zero was falling off in the first place. The terrible, awful, straight horrendous server management. Now, I get it. This is probably like the most hard game to, you know, manage, to optimize for online compatibility. Look how good it looks. Look how fast it runs. Look how fast everything is. What you can do, turn into a giant gorilla or a monkey. They're monkey tails gorillas. So I kind of a little bit expect, you know, the Bandai Namco servers down over at wherever they are to, you know, start electrocuting themselves and blowing up the entire place. So I can appreciate a little bit of lag every now and then. What I can't appreciate is that the game is practically unplayable if you're not playing on the hyperbolic time. And now the servers have been completely shut down. You can barely play. They're gonna get them working again, of course, but oh my gosh, like, oh my gosh, there needs to be a new like flux of electricity technology. Like, electrical engineers, they need to really put their head in the game. It's like, America's changing a lot, you know. More and more people are switching to electric cars and EVs. You know, we have more and more games like this coming out, which literally require like a nuclear reactor to optimize correctly. Electricity is going to become the ultimate norm across the world, inshallah, for America. Well, it already is the norm, but like, electricity is going to be the #1 source of energy once everyone. Well, the electricity grid can't even hold like all the electric cars as it is. So imagine how much will, if every single person in America owns an EV, it would blow up the electrical grid. But case in point, America does not have enough electricity to for every one. But I'm just saying a bunch of nonsense. Obviously, you know, this game is very hefty, what, 50 bytes or something, and yeah, it's very good looking. It can run in 4K, and it has a lot to load and unpack. I guess the only really like solution for this is to, you know, optimize it better by lowering the quality of online play. You know, limit particles, limit special effects, limit limit cutscenes. It's gonna suck. It will suck. I will probably stop playing for that reason, but it's the way to get it be better. But yeah, I would make actually in-depth video with research about this topic, but I'm very busy at the moment, so I'm sorry guys. New videos coming out soon though, which are actually like, you know, researched it and written correctly, so look forward to that, guys. Subscribe, like, do whatever you want to do. Easter, rest in peace to Pope Francis. I love y'all. Stay hydrated, go to sleep for 8 hours at least today, go to school, yeah, do it, yeah. See ya.